Hello, hello, and welcome back to Soulstar Radio. I'm Jacquelene Closemore, your host, and you can probably see that I'm not on my own today. And besides the whiteboard and the rock salt lamp in the background, I'm actually joined by my husband. And his name is Thomas, and he's an Irish psychic. And hello and welcome to the show, dear.
Hello, Johnny.
So we've had a fun time in Bali.
Absolutely.
We can now say we were in Bali. We didn't say that last week. We said we were in the tropics because, that's just more fun. Just adds to the mystique. And it also helps then to, because then you get people going, I feel like you're in Bali. And you go, correct answer. You win a Mars bar now. So anyway, just so that we can introduce you, because although I know you and you know me, you'd hope so anyway, being married this long, but our listeners haven't met you before. So We're going to pretend to do an interview, which is really a chat.
Absolutely.
But also, we've actually had someone contact during the week, and they're really in quite a lot of strife and wanting some help with abundance, wanting help with how to get a job and move out of the negativity and difficult situation they're in, really difficult situation. So we're going to actually help you today. You did write in during the week, and we are actually going to respond to that as well. But I'm also going to interview my husband, which is actually hilarious and possibly will help me with my interviewing skills. So to get started, Thomas, you were born in Ireland, and whereabouts were you born?
I was born in a town called County Wicklow, on the face of the mountains in County Wicklow in Ireland in 1943.
You certainly were. And you first tried getting to Australia to meet me at the age of 13 in a rowboat?
Absolutely.
Except I wasn't born yet.
When I was young, we used to watch this program called Skippy. And Australia, at that time, it was very cold in Ireland.
Yep, sorry.
It was very cold in Ireland, you see. And what we'd done was we hired a boat in a place called Dundee in Dublin. And we rowed outside the heads. And I had my 7-year-old brother in the boat with me. We were rowing. And the Coast Guard picked us up and asked that we wanted to know where we're going.
So you were out in the Black Sea?
Out in the Black Sea. We were rowing away. I was going to head for Australia. And lo and behold, it got a little bit rough. My brother was sick, but I wasn't. I loved the sea and I loved the big waves, not realising that we could have drowned any time. Anyway, the Coast Guard picked us up. We were front page news, and my father gave me a hiding.
Yes, I believe you packed a little pack of sandwiches.
Oh, yes. Pack of sandwiches and a bottle of water.
That was going to be fine.
That was going to be fine, yeah.
That was going to be fine. Probably last you a few hours.
Years later, I actually did come to Australia, so there you are.
Tell our listeners and viewers, because that's quite a hilarious story in itself. You're on the captain's table one evening as a 10-pound pom.
Oh, yes. Well, when we came to Australia, we were on the SS Southern Cross, which was a luxury liner. And we were it was our night to have a dinner with the captain. And the lady who was sitting beside me was disgusted that migrants should be travelling on a first-class liner, and asked me what I thought. And I turned to her and I said, well, I think it's fantastic. It only cost me 10 quid. And if the floor could have opened up and swallowed her, it would have opened up and swallowed her, because she never said a word the rest of the night. And a big grin came on the captain's face.
I love how very silent he was, and that's very dignified way to deal with that.
Absolutely. He didn't say a word. No. She didn't say anything for the rest of the night either.
So, and that's pretty much that kind of thing of the image of the captain.
You had that stigma that was existed in those days. You had the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. Right? And we were kind of classed in the middle class, and they were the upper class. And in those days, they just didn't mix. And to have migrants travelling on an upper class liner was a no-no to the upper class people. Not to all.
But they couldn't tell that you were...
Oh, no. Well, that's why she said it to me. She was looking for my opinion to agree with her, whether migrants should be travelling on this luxury liner or not.
So now your ability to articulate so perfectly and appear as if that really came from your grandmother's sending you off to locution classes, didn't it?
Oh, my grandmother was a great influence on my life, because my grandmother had so many sayings. She had a saying for everything. No matter what it was, she had a saying for it. And she was impeccable with her manners. and always taught me how to treat a lady and how a lady should be treated.
How to treat humans, basically.
And like ladies walk on the inside, ladies go up the stairs first. And people get confused with this when they say, "But how come the ladies go up the stairs first?" Which is the same question I asked my grandma, and she said, "Well, if the lady falls, you can catch her. When you go down the stairs, the man goes first, and then the lady follows her."
That has come in handy, by the way.
And the same thing applies. In case she falls, you're there to catch her.
Well, you have caught me on the odd occasion because, frankly, my ankles get pretty wonky, I've got to tell you.
And then the same when you're walking on a footpath. The lady always walks on the inside of the man. Why? Because if a car comes along and splashes water in, the man gets it, not the lady.
But in this day of equal rights, and how do you deal with that these days? In your view?
Look, sometimes you will get the odd lady that's offended by the fact that you're treating her with respect. They look at it as treating him as a lesser, but it's not actually lesser. It's out of respect that you're doing it. It's like when you're traveling in public transport and you want to, there's a lady standing there, be it young or old, it doesn't matter. She's a lady. So you get up and you offer her your seat.
So if a lady opens the door for you, what do you say?
Oh, thank you very much.
And do you open doors for blokes?
Absolutely.
See, there you go. So it's just a person thing. It's not a lady.
It's just a person thing. Yeah, absolutely. Some ladies are offended by it because they think they take it that they are less because you're doing this for them. They can't.
Or that you want something.
Where it's nothing to do with that. It's all about respect.
Yeah, okay. So that's a lot to do with the generation that you've grown up in as well.
Oh.
But you also spent time with the gypsies when you were young.
When I was young, I had some amazing gypsy friends. They were from Romania, and they had fire dances every night and music. Great lovers of music and the traditional Romanian gypsies, not to be confused with what we call knackers.
Can you explain knackers for our listeners?
In Ireland, the term knackers indicates travelling people who live a similar life to the gypsies, but they weren't actually gypsies. They were just dropouts from society who didn't want to have their own responsibilities. Right? Where the true Romanian gypsy, they had these beautiful caravans with a work of art, total work of art, and very, very spiritual ladies, very spiritual people.
So which ones do the stealing and the conning?
Well, you can't really because it'd be a bit like saying this person is different to that person, I mean, you have the good and bad in every plan of people, if you like. So with the knackers, you got the good and the bad. With the gypsies, you have the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really say.
Yeah.
Put it down to either one or the other.
But what's the difference between them? Would you say?
Well, I'd say that the Romanian gypsies, I would have to say, were a lot more spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the travelling people, which we call knackers.
Okay.
The knackers were very, sometimes could be very abrupt.
Yeah.
And very overpowering. Where the Romanian gypsies were very quiet, quiet people, and they would converse very easily and had a lot of respect for nature.
Okay. Very good.
And they would always clean up after them. They would never leave a site dirty.
Yeah, because certainly things have changed over the generations with all of that.
Well, it has. Well, the majority of the Romanians have gone back to their countries now since all the war and everything's over. And we're left with what they call the knackers, and they can be a bit of a nuisance around Ireland. But not all is said. Again, like I said, it's not them all. You got the good and the bad.
So what would you say you've learnt the most of from the Romanian gypsies, do you think?
From the Romanian gypsies, I learned to be quiet within myself, to accept what comes without question, and to learn from it, always learning. The whole life is an experience of learning, and you learn from everything. Everything has a purpose. Sometimes we think things happen to us and we think it's the end of the world, but in actual fact, it's happened to give us a lesson, and you take that lesson forward with you.
Beautiful. And so when you're dealing with, things like people coming to you who are having troubles with lack of money or lack of direction, they can't quite attract the job they're wanting, what sort of philosophies from your life experience and work actually as a psychic would you take into that?
Well, for the most part, a lot of it is due to the fact that people are trying to, it's like if you plant a seed in the ground, you have to wait for the growth. You can't force it. You force it, you kill it. Right? Now, if you in a situation where you're seeking work, you're seeking to get out of a situation, a financial situation, you can't force it. But what you have to do is learn to be quiet within yourself and bring back that inner power with the self. Because sometimes it's the self that's holding the self back because you're trying to push too far and you're grasping everywhere. Quiet down, take it easy, and take one step at a time. And don't allow yourself to just move with the flow. Mm. And if you do that, you find you're getting out of the situation, you find you're increasing your income, you're increasing the people that want to speak to you. You don't have this locked up full-on energy that's creating this aura around you that wants people to run from you.
Yep.
So it has to start with the self. It has to start with your own self-belief.
So if someone's really kind of right on the edge financially, everything's down the mountain going crazy, you're saying, hey, let's just stop.
Yeah, let's just stop. Let's take a step back. Let's go through the scenarios. Right. You need food. There are places you can go to get food. Mm. You need financial assistance. Okay. Let's take it then a step down. There are places you go, government agencies where you can go get financial assistance. Check them all out one by one. And slowly bring yourself up.
So that's about also the practicalities of things like making lists.
That's right.
Doing
prioritizing the next step.
Yeah, what's important, as well as that meditating thing going within.
Yeah. It's about quieting down and just taking it one step at a time. Because if your mind is all fluff and saying, oh, I can't get this and I can't get that, what am I going to do? Oh, I want to throw myself off a cliff. Hang on, just take it easy. Get back in touch with yourself.
So how would you recommend someone who's in that state of anxiety to do that?
What I would suggest to people that, sometimes I have suggested people that have come to me in a similar situation to that, and what I get them to do is, look, just go into a nice quiet room, sit down, put on some soft music if you have any. If not, just sit down where you're nice and quiet, get a pen and paper, and write down your steps. Step one, write down what your priorities are. Like I said, if it's food, there are places you can go to get food. If dire financial assistance, there are places you can go to get dire financial assistance. So write down, here I can go to St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, that'll get my food out of the way. Here I can go to this agency, government agency, and request emergency assistance. That gets number two out of the way. Then go to number 3 and solve that. Solve them step by step.
One by one.
One by one. And as you're doing that, you come to realize, hang on, this is not as bad as I thought it was. I've already now got food. I've already now got financial assistance. And now I need to look for a job. Okay, so I go to a job agency, I get my resume, I get it all ready, and I work my way into it. Mm. Mm. And it's by breaking it down into single syllables that you can actually move forward.
And so, also on the website on soulstar.media, you'll actually find there's an abundance ritual, which I'll actually go onto Facebook and on the Soulstar Radio page, I'll actually repost a link for that today after the show, which can help. It's an abundance meditation ritual you can do as well. But just speaking from personal experience, there was a stage in my own life before I met you. By the way, did you know at this point in particular time where I was nearly bankrupt due to somebody else, and my allowing somebody else. Don't forget that part. That was a point in time where I actually had a reading from one of my mentors who actually said, you should let your husband play taps lotto because I'm pretty sure he'll win. And you know what I realised later? I realised she was actually talking about you before you even arrived. And, so anyway, but back at this particular moment in time, we were nearly bankrupt. Someone else was making decisions that affected my life. I allowed them to make those decisions. And we were right on the edge. We didn't go bankrupt. We managed to pay everything out, zero it out, and come back up again. But what I did was I sat down and did this particular abundance ritual that I'm going to share the link for. And within 24 hours, that other person had manifested a job. And within 48 hours, I manifested a particular position that really helped me master a lot of unfinished business in the corporate world. And set me on the path to, getting right back on track again and being able to actually move on with my life in such a dramatic way. Very, very powerful, and ended up going from that point to owning our own place now. But, when people sort of say, oh, but it's easy for you and you're psychic and this and this and this and this, and you don't know how hard it is for me, that's the proof in the pudding from my perspective, because I've been down to the bottom, I've come back up again. But did you want to share a bit about your own journey, on that financial level and the things you've gone through?
Well, let's just say I had 27 years of richness. I was practically a millionaire. And it all, in the end, just to cut a long story short, in the end, it wasn't worth it. I walked away from the whole thing. And I actually went bush for 2 years.
And in doing that, because this was quite a big journey, because you can be earning all this money, but sometimes people think that their life is going to be made easier by having more money. It's actually not, because money is simply an amplifier of energy. So, for example, you can have rich people or poor people who are really nice, and you can have rich people or poor people who are complete a-holes. And I didn't swear. I abbreviated that. So there you go. But in that process of that energy, it can attract people who want and want and want and expect and expect and expect from you. And is that a little bit of what made you walk away?
Well, that's partly a bit of what made me walk away, plus the fact that I was with a partner. We had plans. Always had plans to travel Australia, do all these things when the family was growing up. But when the family was growing up, the other partner turned around and wanted to have a life of their own, and that shattered me. And that's why I walked away. I completely disengaged from. I didn't want anything to do with money whatsoever. I didn't want anything to do with riches. I just wanted to find myself, and that's what I done.
So you literally gave away all your assets,
everything,
all your cash.
Yep.
We're talking quite a lot. And you went and lived under a blue tarp.
That's right, under the stars.
Under the stars, next to a creek.
Absolutely.
Not a cent to your name.
It didn't matter because I had fields that grew potatoes and cabbage and stuff like that you had. You had rabbits.
And you had a deal going with the local farmers, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, I just eat their veggies.
Yes, but you had a deal where you could pick the apples, but only if they were on the ground.
But that happened to me when I was a child.
That as well.
That's we used to go into what the place called Orson.
So just to explain this, you came from a family of 18 children.
There were 18 of us, yeah. And
you were damn poor.
10 boys, 8 girls.
Yeah.
Right, and we weren't that poor, but we didn't have. We had enough to live on, but there was no extra, And at a young age, I used to go into an orchard and nick the apples and take them back to school and sell them.
The President's orchard.
The President's for gardens, yeah. And take the apples and bring them back to school, sell them to buy some cigarettes on the way home. But one particular day, I was in there. The gamekeeper came up. We had a run for it. We jumped the wall, and I landed on the wasp hive. And I got stung all over. Anyway, the gamekeeper came out, brought me in, took care of me, and said to me, look, when you want apples, come to me. I'll let you in this way. And as long as you pick them up off the ground, go for your life.
And not off the tree.
So I had a free path to go over and get my apples. And none of the boys in the school knew how I done this. All they knew was I used to come back with a belly full of apples, wrap under my shirt, and I'd sell them for a penny each.
So you were a businessman from a young age.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, that used to get our cigarettes on the way home.
And so when we've kind of had some rather interesting moments up and down, sort of as journeys go in life, and I sort of sat there and gone, because I'm a bit of a control freak, and I like to have certainty, you know. And what have you said to me each time? It's like, well, you know, so what's the worst that could happen? We could be out on the street.
I always say to you, and I still say to Dad, don't go grey over materialistic things. Don't go grey. Don't worry about it. What will be, will be. What will happen. And the worst that can happen is we get a tent, we go out bush, we stick up the tent, and we've still got a living room. We're still living. We're still alive.
We have potatoes and cabbage.
The air's free. The veggies are free from the farmer's fields. You know, hot, like a little belly fire.
There's a fishing line, we can get
There's a fishing line,
Just
catch
watch
fish.
the snakes.
That's the worst. And what's wrong with that?
Actually, not a bad idea.
So why
Can I
stress?
just be happy?
What I say to people is, don't stress. There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And you always, most of things in life are free if people only realise it.
Mm. And the best things in life are actually free, aren't
They
they?
are. The best things in life are free. And if you allow yourself to be free from stress and worry, and just take it every day at a time, which is what I do now. I won't allow myself to worry about anything. It doesn't matter because life is life. And life is meant to be enjoyed. And you can't enjoy it if you're pulling your hair out. Not that I have much hair left. But that's the way it is.
Yes. So there's always a way, isn't there?
There's always a way. Something will always come up. I sometimes, when I have clients, and they come to me and they say, "I'm worried about this and worried about that," and I just say, "Hang on, just stop a minute. What was the last big worry you had, and how long ago was it?" "Oh, well, 3 weeks ago I was worried about this." I said, "Did you get over it?" "Oh yeah, worked its way out." "And before that again, how many times were you so worried that things weren't going to get right, and what happened?" It always turns out right in the end. I said, take those last few syllables, those last few words. It always turns out right in the end. So why worry about it?
Mm.
If you know from experience that it always works out, why are you worried?
Yep.
Stop worrying. Let the universe take care of it.
Because worrying also pushes away the answers and pushes away people that can help you with the answers.
That's right. Because you're creating this aura around yourself that creates this block.
Mm.
If you leave yourself open to the universe and what's around you and what comes to you, whether it be advice or financial help or whatever help, it's there for you.
Mm. It turns up.
Accept it.
Yep, it turns up.
But don't worry about it. Allow the universe to do its job.
Mm.
The universe is there to take care of us all. We just have to trust it.
Yes, we do. We have to have faith.
Have faith in the universe and faith in yourself.
Says the people who are settling their house in less than, how many
2
days
weeks.
now?
2 weeks. Oh, I mean, this is 7.
22 days we're settling the house in.
That's right.
We have to be out of our house in 22 days and we haven't found a house yet.
Well, we'll get it.
We'll get it.
Absolutely.
It's called a test of faith, isn't it?
That's exactly
And
what
we
it is.
knew that it would be the third buyer
That's right.
and that it would be on the third, which it was. They came in on the third
That's right.
and they offered it and the house was on sale for 3 weeks.
So it's all a question of trusting yourself and trusting the universe. And believing in it. Believing in that the universe will take care of you if you allow it to.
Mm.
Don't block yourself.
Mm.
Relax. Take it easy. The universe takes care of it.
Why have I got that song called Don't Fence Me In going on in my head right now? Has that got to do with this?
Well, think of the words.
Can you tell me the words? Because I can't remember.
I can't remember them. Don't fence me in. I can't remember the words, but I know it's all about allowing yourself to be free.
There you go.
It's all about freedom.
People can Google that. They can Google the lyrics.
Freedom has many concepts, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and the most important part of freedom is freedom of yourself.
Because we can kind of really kind of confuse ourselves and set ourselves up for all sorts of craziness otherwise.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, it's been a fascinating chat, I hope. It has for me. I'm always fascinated.
Indeed. Many times and many stories.
Oh, lots of stories, lots of meetings. It's all good. So, thank you for coming on air. Finally, I got you to come on air with me. It's been a struggle. He's like, I can't hear anything. He's fine today. So, thank you very much, Thomas, for joining me on air.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Very good. Okay, we'll catch you same bat time, same bat channel next week. And in the meantime, I wonder if we can get Thomas to join me in a song of Kumbaya. Catch you next week. Kumbaya, my lord. Come on. Kumbaya. Someone singing, my lord. Kumbaya.